Success isn't reserved for the chosen few. It belongs to those who train their minds to see the world differently. Simon Sinek's lessons challenge us to rethink everything from how we chase goals to how we build our lives. Today I'm bringing you 5 powerful insights that will completely shift your perspective if you let them. This isn't about surface-level inspiration. It's about building deep, lasting mindset motivation that anchors you through every season of your life. If you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure if you're on the right path, this is your wake-up call. Mindset isn't something you fix once, it's something you strengthen daily. True mindset motivation isn't just about feeling good for a moment, it's about rewiring how you see obstacles, opportunities, and yourself. Stay with me until the end, because each lesson builds on the last, and by the time we finish, you'll have a blueprint for transforming not just your success, but your inner life. And don't just watch, passively comment below as we go. Let's turn this into an active journey of growth, fueled by powerful mindset motivation. Sharpen your axe. Think beyond the daily grind. Most people measure success by how busy they are. The longer the to-do list, the later the nights, the earlier the mornings, the more successful they must be. But real growth isn't about doing more, it's about getting better. Simon Sinek challenges us to think differently. Success isn't won in a day or even a year. It's the result of an infinite mindset, the ability to play the long game while everyone else burns out trying to win short sprints. Imagine 2 builders. One swings his hammer endlessly without ever stopping, proud of his constant motion. The other takes regular pauses, not because he's lazy, but because he sharpens his tools, checks his plans, and adjusts his techniques. Months later, the difference is undeniable. One has built something strong, lasting, and remarkable. The other has built something shaky, already falling apart. Sharpening your axe means stepping back to improve your skills, rethink your strategies, and renew your energy. It's recognizing that rest isn't weakness. It's preparation. It's understanding that learning a new skill, taking time to reflect, even simply unplugging from the noise are essential parts of long-term success. This is the heart of real mindset motivation. It's not about grinding yourself into dust every day. It's about sharpening yourself into someone who can sustain excellence for decades. If you never stop to sharpen, no matter how hard you work, eventually you'll break. But if you make sharpening a habit, your edge will only get stronger. So I want you to think about this. When was the last time you truly stopped and sharpened your axe? When was the last time you invested in yourself instead of just pushing harder? Comment below and share your answer. Let's make a public commitment to stop glorifying busyness and start honoring mastery, because that's how true leaders and dreamers build something that lasts. Go after what you want. Don't let the line stop you. In life, there are always 2 types of people, those who focus on what they want and those who focus on the obstacles standing in the way. Simon Sinek's story about the bagels may seem simple, but it's a mirror to how we approach every opportunity in front of us. One person sees the reward, the bagel, and finds a way to claim it. Another person sees the long line, the inconvenience, and turns away. The difference isn't in ability, luck, or resources. The difference is in focus. Most people don't fail because the dream is too big. They fail because the line looks too long. They give up before they even try. They convince themselves that success belongs to someone else, someone luckier, someone who somehow found a shortcut. But the truth is, there are no shortcuts. There are only those who choose to move forward even when the process looks messy, crowded, or uncertain. Mindset motivation teaches us that you don't need permission to go after what you want. You don't have to wait for the perfect conditions. You don't have to follow the traditional path if a better way exists. What you must do is act. You must be bold enough to step toward the prize, even when the world gives you every reason to hesitate. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The line will always be there. The obstacles, the doubts, the competition, they never disappear. What changes is you. When you train yourself to focus on the goal instead of the barriers, you stop hesitating and start building momentum. And once you start moving, everything changes. So let me ask you, what dream have you been putting off because the line looks too long? What is one bold move you can make today to lean in to claim your version of the bagel instead of waiting for the crowd to thin out? Comment below and declare it. Because the moment you stop staring at the obstacles and start reaching for your goal, you step into the life you were meant to build. And that's the fuel behind unstoppable mindset motivation. Help each other. Strength is found in service. When we imagine greatness, we often picture strength, speed, and brilliance. But true greatness, the kind that endures, is rooted in something much deeper: service. Simon Sinek's lesson from the Navy SEALs teaches us that the ones who endure, the ones who rise, are not the biggest, strongest, or fastest. They are the ones who, even at their lowest, find a way to help the person next to them. That's what makes the difference between those who simply survive and those who build something greater than themselves. In our culture, independence is often celebrated to the point of distortion. We are told to stand alone to prove ourselves without needing anyone else. But the truth is, nobody truly succeeds alone. Behind every achievement is a web of support, encouragement, and sacrifice. The strongest people aren't those who refuse help. They are those who ask for it when needed and offer it when others can barely carry on. Daily mindset motivation isn't just about pushing yourself. It's about pulling others up along the way. Real resilience is not measured by how much you can endure alone, but by how much you can lift together. Every time you extend a hand, even when you are tired, even when you are struggling, you build a bridge that will carry both of you forward. It's time to shift how we think about strength. It's not in pretending you're invincible, it's in admitting when you need help and offering help without needing to be asked. That kind of strength changes lives, teams, companies, and it changes you. Today, I challenge you to look around and ask, who in your life could use a hand right now? Maybe it's a colleague drowning in quiet stress, a friend hiding behind a smile, or even yourself needing the courage to reach out. Comment below and tell me. When was the last time you offered or received help that truly mattered? Let's remind each other that greatness is not a solo journey. It's a team effort built, one act of service at a time. Practice humility and accountability. Lead by listening and owning your mistakes. Real leadership doesn't come from shouting the loudest or making the fastest decisions. It comes from the quiet, disciplined practice of humility and accountability. Simon Sinek reminds us that the best leaders are not those who rush to speak first, but those who choose to listen deeply, patiently before offering their voice. It's a skill that sounds simple but is profoundly rare. In a world addicted to speed and dominance, true listening is an act of courage. Nelson Mandela learned this as a boy watching his father at tribal council meetings. The leaders sat in a circle, and his father always spoke last. By listening first, he gave others dignity, made them feel valued, and most importantly, gathered the wisdom of the room before deciding his course of action. It's not about being silent to seem wise. It's about being humble enough to know you don't have all the answers. Humility, however, means nothing without accountability. It's easy to take credit when things go right, but true growth demands that we also own the moments we fall short. History teaches this painfully. Doctors who once refused to admit their mistakes cost thousands of lives. Leaders who cling to ego poison the very environments they are supposed to protect. Accountability is not about shame, it's about power. When you say, "I was wrong," you reclaim the ability to make it right. Daily mindset motivation must include the discipline of reflection, not just celebrating wins, but examining where we need to grow. It's in admitting when you misstep, in asking for feedback, even when it's uncomfortable, in holding yourself to a higher standard, not because you have to, but because you choose to. So I challenge you today. When was the last time you truly listened without preparing your reply? When was the last time you admitted a mistake without defending yourself? Comment below and share your moment of humility. Because in a world full of noise, the rarest and most powerful voice is the one that listens, learns, and leads with honesty. Build empathy, build meaning, redefining success on your terms. We live in a world that tells us to chase titles, paychecks, and external validation. But Simon Sinek challenges us to ask a deeper question. Are you building a life you love or just surviving one you tolerate? True success isn't about accumulating things. It's about building a life where you feel seen, connected, and alive, where your work isn't just something you endure, but something you are proud to pour yourself into. At the center of this shift is empathy. Empathy isn't weakness. It's not soft leadership. It's the ability to see and understand the people around you and yourself without judgment. It's realizing that the colleague who missed a deadline might be fighting a silent battle. It's understanding that a team thrives not because of fear, but because of belonging. And it's knowing that when you create an environment where people feel safe, valued, and heard, they will give you their best, not because they have to, but because they want to. Mindset motivation isn't about slapping on a smile and pushing through pain. It's about creating conditions where growth becomes natural, where hard work feels like passion, not punishment. Loving your work should not be a rare lottery win. It should be the standard we demand for ourselves and for those we lead. It starts with a choice to lead with empathy, to care deeply, to build cultures, whether in companies, families, or communities where people can be at their natural best. It's messy, it's challenging, but it's the only path that leads to lasting meaning. So I challenge you today. What's one act of empathy you can practice this week at work, at home, or with yourself? Comment below and share your commitment. Because when we redefine success not by what we achieve alone, but by how we lift each other up along the way, we build lives that are rich, resilient, and deeply worth living. Today, we uncovered 5 powerful lessons, each one a pillar for building a life of real success and meaning. We learned that sharpening your axe, stepping back to grow and reset, is the key to lasting impact, not endless hustle. We saw that going after what you want means focusing on the goal, not getting paralyzed by the barriers in front of you. We were reminded that true strength lies not in standing alone, but in helping the person next to you, even when you are exhausted yourself. We explored the rare but critical power of humility and accountability, the ability to listen first, to own our mistakes, and to lead by example. And finally, we recognized that success without empathy is hollow, that real fulfillment comes from building environments where people feel safe, valued, and inspired to give their best. These are not just ideas to think about. They are disciplines to live by. They are the real foundations of lasting achievement, fueled every day by true mindset motivation. It's easy to chase quick wins. It's easy to get lost in appearances. But if you want a life that endures, a career that matters, and relationships that are real, it starts with mastering these fundamentals. I want to take a moment to thank you for staying with me through this journey today. Your attention, your willingness to grow, and your commitment to becoming better are what truly separate dreamers from doers. And I believe if you apply even one of these lessons, your future will look radically different. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 lessons resonated with you the most? Drop a comment below and let's start a real conversation. Growth happens when we reflect, when we share, and when we challenge ourselves to take action. And if you found value today, if you're serious about building a life fueled by powerful, lasting mindset motivation, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join this community of driven thinkers and leaders who are committed to growth day after day. Because your journey is just getting started, and together we're going further than we ever could alone.